immediate response. Does it ever worry you for the opposite team when one team is drafting so confidently?
They knew. I really like Sven in general. I think this is a bit of a silencer immediately as a response. Then you also have Timbersaw to block some of these tanky heroes. And Brewmaster, he can be a bit of a hit or miss as a hero.
Yeah, definitely can be. They're going to run right up this cliff, by the way. Stormhammer to start figure, and now that leaves Bobica on the wrong side of all this.
They've got Ame, though.
Dead for first blood. Who'll die first? It'll be Ame, then Bobica. XM getting second blood.
Oof, Marcy losing intelligence. It's this year.
It's a bit, yeah, losing intelligence that early is a bit rough. It does say 2-0 up top. That is not correct. It's just a HUD bug. This is the first game of the BO5 Grand Final.
Yeah. It's not the groundbreaking bug. It's not Queen of Pain with status resistance, Eon Disc with overhealing and everything.
Man.
Yeah, it always is us. I think this is actually you. I don't think I have anything to do with this. It's just that your overflow, your aura.
Oh God, I've got
break things.
I've got break aura. Great. I don't know if that's a good thing. Just the oh gosh, I need like bug spray, so I never encounter bugs ever again.
They are changing things around. They also saw which spells they used, because you wanted to have Gyrocopter with Rocket Barrage dealing that damage, and there was also Shadow Ward trying to save Marcy. So now Shaker decides to pull the lane back by using the Fissure, which I think is the correct choice, seeing that which spells they used. Emo playing super aggressive already. XM.
Yeah, no surprise, honestly.
Yeah, I want to see what the build on him is going to be. We saw XM yesterday, I believe, who did go for Third Vessel. Did lose that game, but it did look good rather than rushing Aghanim Scepter. A lot of the times you need that extra bit of a damage. It's also a very good stat item for Void Spirit, now that the part of it is Diadem instead of the booster.
Get a pause from Flux. I know that to get some extra heal, we've seen a lot of Warlocks go 1-2. And we're going to get a replay on the First Blood. End up splitting up Bobica, and Ame ends up being thrown over the Fissure.
Not too happy about that one, but yeah, good start for Old 11. He was the one who got that First Blood. We saw Brewmaster's Bobica's like, ooh, shit, man. -1, huh?
I thought he was more like, oh, I threw him over. Awesome. A little giggle instead of a little upset that he lost that intelligence quickly.
Sometimes in the mid game, you're like, oh, she doesn't have a BKB. Suddenly she clicks the items. And there's the BKB, which could turn around the whole fight. But yeah, I think this one's okay compared to Earth Spirit,
Rocks,
Mirana. Yeah, so some of these abilities are not that great. Even though Mirana's one got buffed from 20% to 50% Stellar Mana, I think we're going with a bit of a lore. I think this is what we want to have with innate abilities.
Yeah, lore-friendly innate abilities is all right. And then, like you said, Earth Spirits isn't great. He's just like, you want to see my rock collection? It's like, no, dude.
Those are minerals, okay?
Oh, sorry.
What was her name? That's from
I
Breaking
can't remember.
Bad. Skylar or something. And you can see special delivery in action. Bobica immediately bringing that healing salve. So this is actually pretty good. Back to full HP after getting harassed behind Tier 1 and Tier 2 tower. Emo. This matchup is pretty even. We saw it many times so far in the qualifiers, where both Void Spirit and Storm Spirit are getting a good amount of farm.
And Nemo's not afraid to get down dirty when he hits this level 6. He is very willing to play aggressive. He plays on the edge of the hero at all moments of the game. It really is insane. I mean, there was one point, was it the Queen of Pain game where he was getting help to get all water runes just to survive in that lane? Like, he knows the limits of a lot of these heroes just to play on the edge.
He was playing into not favorable matchup for him, playing into DP as Queen of Pain. So he actually DP'd to the mid lane, picked up the water rune, and then picked up the second water rune because of that TP. Then Boboka TP to the mid lane. He gave him Lotus. He gave him another rune. And that's how they played pretty much first 4 or 5 minutes, knowing that the matchup is not good.
We still got the deny, even though we got hit by that Aether Remnant. Things pretty quiet after the first blood situation, but I don't expect it to be too crazy. I would say maybe top there's a kill with like a Stormhammer and a Last Word Arcane Curse combo.
I could see Xinqiu maybe making a move to the top lane and trying to grab a kill, because you are leaving Timbersaw alone. It is against Warlock, so you don't have, like, this is not some super controlling position 5 who's going to stop him from using the Timber Chain. He doesn't even have Timber Chain at the moment, but I would definitely love to see Xinqiu maybe focus more on stacking, focusing more on securing the runes rather than being in the lane with Timbersaw.
That's what they're doing. They're going over mid. Pelosian's here. Last Word and the Arcane Curse onto a couple of these heroes. XM down a little bit low. Ali also makes the return over to the mid lane, and he's only level 2, so he's got level 1 in the Shadow Word. It's not a lot of heal, but it is some. And you don't really need to be in the lane with XXS, right? He's got 2 levels in the reactive armor. Against just Fly, he's really not going to die, or he shouldn't.
Yeah, both of them are fine. Xinqiu roaming around the map, doing pretty much whatever he wants, knowing that they can't stop him. Let's see if he decides to maybe kill a courier or something in the bottom lane, because right now there's not much to do around the map. Basically, these 2 kills happened before the Horn, and seeing how strong, like, these are not the strongest laners. We have Gyrocopter, but we also saw them pulling the lane back. Xinqiu eating some of that damage, but still, Fly should be more than fine.
Yeah, eating a full Rocket Barrage, you can see the damage that this Gyro can get out there solo. Some Fatal Bonds pressure put on. But overall, it's really nothing too crazy. The only one who's in trouble is this Sven. The damage is there, the Arcane Curse, the slow, the Last Word. Ame gets into the trees. He's running away from Old 11 and needs some help. And even Pelosian might get this kill with the Arcane Curse. He just needs one more right click, but he won't be able to find it as he gets past the trees. Then Ame gets chased down by Old 11, who's got the speed and has the damage to get that kill on Sven.
Not sure where Pelosian was, because they immediately initiated on top of him. This is not a real killer lane by any means. Marcy having the 1-1-1 build. Brewmaster also usually puts 1 point in Thunderclap. So already 1k gold lead.
Yeah, that was a little surprise that they got that kill on Sven. I didn't exactly expect it. But now XXS, who I said probably shouldn't die, is pretty deep here. And they've also got the help of Vimo on this one, so they're able to get a kill on XXS, and Yakult coming out of the gates looking pretty good. Aether Remnant locks up Boboka, but he's got that toss over. The fissure will land, and they will finish off Boboka. Bringing in the silencer, that's another point into the brain drain and another point gone in that intelligence of Marcy.
A little surprised XXS doesn't have a point in Timber Chain. You are playing against Gyrocopter. It's the easy way to get away from Rocket Barrage. I'm not sure what he was doing there. Like, he basically died near the enemy tier 2 tower. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a question mark on where he was in that point.
What managed to get them the kill was Old 11 actually having boots on Brewmaster. This is not the item that you buy on the hero. You want to get your Radiance ASAP. You also have extra movement speed from Storm Brawler stance if you want to go for it. But yeah, maybe he knows. Maybe he played that matchup knowing that Silencer plus Sven, not the strongest matchup. So Ame will need a lot of time to recover in the jungle, going for the pretty standard stuff on Sven. Mask of Madness into Echo Saber, BKB Blink. You can't really deviate too much. Like Grimoire, 1 Warlock. 3 charges on it. That's 600 experience. Not enough to get him to level 6.
You always get to that point, though, where you're like, do I have enough Grimoire pages to go straight to 6? Or do I now want to just wait to get 6 naturally and rack up more Grimoire pages to push a quicker 12?
If nothing's happening on the map, I'm fine with him keeping it.
Yeah.
Also, maybe an extra point in Fatal Bonds. That extra bit of a damage, 3%, could make the difference. Lowering the cooldown, you might get it twice in a fight.
Yeah, that is always the question. We've seen some Warlocks just be in that proper position where a big fight's rolling in, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, the Warlock's 6. And he's got that chaotic offering and just drops it down. XM's over here top. Has some help with Pelosin, and Bobica might be in some trouble. Astral Step, they've got the Silence and the Arcane Curse. They are chasing, but now XM already have used that Aether Remnant. Won't be able to have the control to lock down the Marcy and get a kill there on a Bobica.
Nicely done by Bobica, realizing that they have no stuns available. Still using ability, even with the Arcane Curse on him, managing to get out of trouble. Jinq, he's involved in both of the kills. I mean, they had one kill immediately and then one kill in the mid lane. A bit of a slower start to the game for him. And Silencer, they would definitely love to have or be involved in more kills, seeing that both of them are level 4 at the moment.
Jinq making an ancient stack, just trying to get some more gold set up here for Ame, who is level 7 now. Bringing the gyro towards top, as well as Ollie, who went 2-3. So the level 5 point getting spent on Shadow Word rather than that extra point in the Fatal Bonds. Immediately they go back towards bottom. Fly comes top, sees there's nothing, back to bottom.
Ollie can be
chip
level
best
6
for old 11.
Just a farming tool. 20 damage to creeps. Mystical enchantment, wants to get some extra mana regeneration. Both teams stacking a lot. I want to see who's going to be clearing those stacks. Jinq is still level 4, 10 minutes into the game. We'll definitely love his Sven to maybe go there and try to clean it up. He's pinging it out. XXS. We saw also some of the stacks, at least some of the early ancient stacks belonging to the Timbersaw were played from the mid or from the off lane. And XXS is gonna solo smoke and kill those ancients. So doesn't want to take the damage.
Nothing like a smoke stand there AFK with Chakram taking of the ancients.
Yeah, this is what Budge players do.
Yeah, it's similar to the Radiance build or the Necroclick build.
Is it the Necrophos that is stuck on the hill, or Necrophos
two different builds. Two different builds. I'm bailing. Very much two different builds. XM back top. But again, once you use this Aether Remnant, that's all the lockdown you have. So committing for this isn't exactly easy, and now that you've shown, it's given the opportunity for Emo to come over, and he's got a little bit left on this shield rune, and there's not really anything that Xtreme can do in that top lane with the lack of lockdown available to them.
They're giving them a lot of free time. Gyrocopter is free farming, so is Storm Spirit, and so is Brewmaster. He's very close to getting his Radiance, and if Brewmaster's off to a good start, they didn't kill him a single time. We saw that Brewmaster can scale, playing into a bit more difficult matchup, into instant lockdown from Earthshaker, into cleave from Sven. But we'll see how he's gonna manage to do so. Xtreme Gaming also able to stabilize the game. 1k gold lead for Yakult brothers, so we'll see if it's gonna be enough. I think they are playing for a bit of a later timing. They want to get those items up, Aghanim Scepter and Void Spirit, seeing that the game didn't develop as they wanted it to. We're waiting for Sven to get his items, get to his Echo Saber, get to his BKB Blink Dagger. This is gonna be the big timing. And if they can keep it at 1k, 2k, this lineup from Xtreme Gaming still plays out better compared to the lineup on Yakult brothers.
Definitely does. It just makes me a little bit nervous. I've never really seen giving Emo free farm like this work out too well. They're going to go bottom, though, to look for Fly. Chaotic Offering gets used, and the last word in the Arcane Curse on a Fly is not going to be enough just yet. But Emo, all lightning in the Vortex. Global Silence gets committed, so there's nothing to stop this TP out from the Timbersaw of XXS. But they want more. They want to find anything on the map. Fissure and a totem, but Jinq dead to rights, and Old 11 gets credit for that kill. And he's almost got that Radiance. He's at 3,000 gold. Just needs a couple hundred more, and he'll pick up that Sacred Relic, finishing off the Radiance. And they save Fly.
I think the plan was for them to get level 6 on Silencer, steal some of that XP from Gyrocopter, but the creep didn't die immediately. Creep died afterwards, and then they needed the global to build Timbersaw so he can TP out of the trouble. And Earthshaker was still not level 6.
Earthshaker struggling for levels, not level 6, 14 minutes into the game. Meanwhile, the Black Grimoire was consumed. So level 7 for the Warlock. Marcy's level 6, has Unleash ready to go if they can find a target for it. Not really many great targets for Unleash. You don't really want to get in the face of Void Spirit or Sven. Timber, you're not going to be able to do too much to, but Earthshaker's got Fissure and Totem where you might struggle to get the damage out. Silencer's really the only play. But as time goes on, maybe there's items here that Bobica can pick up that makes him feel a little bit more comfortable going in with Unleash. A bit worrisome, I would say, overall.
Very slow game.
Jump in.
One of the slower ones we've seen. Fly.
Very dead. Throws down that call down and that homing missile, but there really isn't much. I mean, they play this pretty well. They know that Timbersaw can get in there and do a good chunk of damage with the double chakram. And XM, he is well on his way to having this Ags. He's got the courier going out. Should be able to pick up that point booster and finish it off.
Look at where Emo's playing, knowing that he's playing against a good amount of control from Void Spirit, Global Silence, Earthshaker.
He's got to be careful now, though. The Ags is finished from XM, so he can jump in there, and they've got Silences ready to go. They're going to need a little bit of lockdown, but they've got the Fissure. They hit the Aether Remnant, and with the Chakrams and the Whirling Death, they'll get him, and they'll pay for him being that far forward. And that is the Ags that he just picked up. XM TP'd to the Tier 1 tower from the other Tier 1 tower, so it really wasn't that far to get to the secret shop quickly enough to have that Ags to go for that kill.
Once you get Aghanim Scepter on Void Spirit, it does allow you to go for more aggressive plays. Before that, you don't really have much. You basically have components of your Aghanim Scepter, so your impact is not as big. But you gotta get the really good timing. He's the second most farmed hero on the map. The biggest one is Old 11, who continues to just farm up. He's been farming the stacks in the triangle as well, about to crack level 12. Still yet to see Primal Split.
Ags finished on Fly. Yeah, we haven't really seen a Primal Split yet. We haven't seen a big team fight from Yakult just yet. Emo balling all the way forward, but I guess hoping to get a 16-minute rune. And it is an amplified damage that will be bottled up by Emo. Now he'll commit. He'll want to go for Pelosin. Doesn't have that global silence, so it's an easy kill there out of the silencer. And they're going to look to get the Tier 1 tower over mid. They'll commit to that and get it as well. XXS stays bottom the entire time.
This might be Roche.
Not rotating.
From Yakult Brothers. We have amplified damage. Half duration left. Bobica will pop that ulti. Doesn't seem like Xtreme Gaming is going to do anything about it. The first Aegis probably belongs to Emo. Second one, if they are going to get their hands on it, they will decide whether they want to siege the high ground. So it might be Fly, or if they think Fly is not going to be... Oh, interesting. Actually, Fly picks it up.
So does this hint you in on maybe the Yakult wanting to 5-man for the rest of the time? They've got this Ags, they want to go?
It does say that Fly wants to get more involved. He is... Like, there's not that much of a difference in the middle of the pack between all the cores. They're pretty much all sitting at the same amount of farm, less than 800 difference. So he wants to be more active. Might be because he's playing a Sven matchup where if he gets jumped, he's gonna get to delete it. One Fissure, one stun from Sven, who is getting more and more farmed. He is definitely catching up. If Ahmed doesn't die in the next few minutes, definitely his net worth is gonna skyrocket.
Bringing everybody over. They do have Global Silence ready to go, but this is going to be an Aegis. Ami not here. He is still farming, so they're going to have to do it without him. And it looks like they should be able to get this Aegis, but I say that, they jump in. Bobica jumps over, and now they've got the Echo Slam, and that ends up being Bobica dead instead. They wanted to go for Fly. They baited a reaction and get the kill onto Bobica.
And I really like that Jinkyu didn't opt to go for Blink Dagger as his first item. Instead, he bought the Shard, which does give him to play slightly off the distance. And it's also much cheaper option, 750, less gold. And they definitely felt like they need something to fight right now. Also, Fly, he needs to be careful. Ame disassembled his Echo Saber, has BKB. So he can come to the top lane as well. TP in, level 15 Sven. Does have that 10 talent, Vanquisher bonus damage, which brings it up to 30%. So whoever is stunned, Sven will deal 30% bonus damage.
They find Jinkyu. Fissure, though, comes through, and then they've got XM making the jump forward. Chaotic Offering comes in. He's using the people, but Ame's behind with God Strength going after Ali to get the kill on Jinkyu. But the Aegis already used. Closing on the run from Emo. That's going to be 3 heroes dead on the side of Xtreme as they got XM. Emo, again, just doing work and finding just open space to make the damage count.
If they're going to be focusing down Void Spirit, that's the big one. Even though he dealt the most damage, he still needs a little bit of extra protection. You can still feel that Sven needs that extra item. He needs Blink Dagger to get on top of people, and he needs somebody to keep them in place. Warlock, he just ran down the river and down the stream, and he couldn't catch him.
It was a little bit of a surprise. I mean, Ame committed there and didn't really find anything. He'll still need some time. He's got the Echo Saber built again. He's going into the Blink Dagger, then Daedalus. Emo now silence up. And the global silence committed. Dissimulate. Chakram off the mark. Emo's going to have Ball Lightning and a TP now. They use that global silence, and the tip coming out from Emo just feels like he knows he's feeling this game at the moment.
He's gonna focus him. He's gonna focus him in the next fight. That's what happened previous time. When he died, when he got globaled, immediately jumping him, taking him out of the fight.
He got globaled, and you just hear Emo just go, "Hoo!" And then he went right for silencer. He'll pick up a kill over mid. Showing off that BKB. Emo using that 9-second BKB to get a pick off in that mid lane. Ame's top of the net worth, but as we saw, he still needs a little bit more to hold on to these heroes. The stuns aren't... I'm going to say this. There are 3 ways of locking down. Like, you do have the Aether Remnant, you do have Stormhammer, and you've got the Fissure, but it's not exactly the best combination of stuns.
No, and they are getting away with too much. Yakult brothers playing the map really well. Old 11 didn't die a single time.
Uh-oh.
Bobica has the ult scepter.
Yeah, and he's going to use it. Bolosin in trouble, or is he? The jump forward as he gets silenced. Bobica now has to be careful. Got this Radiance to burn him up, but Bobica still did the Astral Step of XM, so it'll be a trade for supports. Got Brewmaster going for this Manta style, almost finished for Old 11.
A great way of dealing with silences. Cheap way, makes you super tanky. You are also a hero. You're also a universal hero. You do benefit a lot from it. They need 2 big items. They need both Blink Daggers, one on Earthshaker, one on Sven to be able to play the game. Manta style probably also going to be completed on XM.
Old 11's been having a pretty good qualifier so far.
Yeah, he had some really nice moves, but he also had a couple of those Old 11.
Yeah, the coin flip moves.
Yeah.
But I will say, you know, this is a team that has gone through offlaners kind of the way LGD used to. They were when they played that ACL Challenger, they had Zeal as their offlaner. And then they went to Beyond. Beyond was only on the team for a month, and now they're on Old 11, who's been here for about a month. He has not been here that long. But they need an offlaner that gives them a little bit of consistency, and we've kind of said he hasn't exactly done that. Ame forced to BKB. You know, sometimes it's just a coin flip.
Yet to see Ame in action. About to crack level 18.
He's tried.
Unfortunately, BKB is on cooldown for another full minute. I want to see the damage though, because he hasn't been involved in pretty much anything. A bit of a slower game on Xtreme Gaming. This is going to be some 2,000 damage from Sven.
Yeah, it's not a lot at the moment, is it? But he is getting a lot of... Now he's going into the MKB. He had Daedalus queued up before, but now he's going Blink MKB. Also, I'm going to tell you this now, Lacoste. You've covered a couple Grand Finals things with me. We know this is 5 games already.
Oh, most definitely. At least I hope so. I was expecting a little bit more. Like, we had some crazy starts to the game with 30 kills at 12 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But we also had a bit of a slower starts. Had to poke them with the stick to do something. Didn't work.
From all the way over here.
Yeah. I need a big stick. I don't have one, unfortunately.
Okay. Amplify damage top. Fly gonna pick this up. Hit by that Aether Remnant immediately, but Glimmer Cape to be saved if anybody were gonna make the jump in on that one. Quiet game overall from XXS. I mean, it's a quiet game from everybody, truthfully. It's only 16 kills at 24 minutes. It's not a bad game by any means from XXS. His farm is pretty much there with the bulk of them. The only one struggling, and I say that in quotes because it's not really much of a struggle, it's just lower net worth at the, time, is XM. But he's 3-1-2. Like, it's not a bad game from him by any means yet.
A little bit of Kale action has to happen every single game.
Who? Yeah, we sometimes the lobbies don't start immediately. You load in everybody, the timer goes down, and we get kicked back to the lobby. And there's always somebody who's asking the question, who was it? Who didn't load in? But then you get this as well. This is a staple of Chinese Dota, is the Kale. Somebody's got to disconnect, figure it out, and they'll be right back in. I never seem to get these problems.
Who was it during DPC? It was very aggressive. Every single time somebody didn't load into the game, it was immediately like, who? Capital.
It was the offlaner at the time for LGD, wasn't it? Was it Zhao Yu?
No, I don't think it was Zhao Yu. Felix Xiaoba, was it him?
He used to ask who a lot. Jinkyu is also a guy who was asking who a lot. They would get mad at us who's not loading in. Meanwhile, it was one of them. One of the players. Hold 11. EKBAC is on the docket. He's got this Manta style finished. And I'll try to help him stay alive, purge that silence, be able to get the primal split off. Gyro, he went upgraded Poor Man's Shield. So he went Dormant Curio, and now he's got the Poor Man's Shield post Curio. The Unleashed Poor Man's Shield. I like having this item back in here.
More damage block. It's all about that survivability. Going into Butterfly. Emo is in.
EKB, Emo's in, looking for Jinkyu, and they're going to get the kill on Boba because they go to the global silence. And Emo now in some trouble. Resonant Pulse, silence, there it is again. Aether Remnant, God Strength, Ame looking for it. Essence Ring, Ball Lightning in the TP attempt, but the Fissure gets the kill. Jinkyu well placed with that Fissure to finish off Emo.
And now it feels like this lineup is back. They were keeping up with the network, but all these silences playing into global silence. And Ame, you can feel him now dealing the damage. About to crack level 20. Will have even more protection for his team, even more armor. This lineup kind of plays itself. It's very easy. You see a target, you blink initiate. Now that you have all 3 cores, basically 4 cores. He's going to start to scale as well. It's very easy to start a fight for them.
Old 11 killed that courier of XXS the second before it was going to get there. Ooh, Timber Chain stopped with the jump forward, and that was Bobica also bringing in Old 11. And he could, but he's also got Chaotic Offering in his face to stop that TP. Pelosin also did a fly. XXS, he's in some trouble. Shotgun's doing some decent damage, but just not good enough. And Ali gets the kill on XXS. Not only that, they stopped him from getting his Aghanim Scepter by killing off that courier. It had the other 2 components on it. So it makes him that much easier to kill. And committing that Chaotic Offering to getting that stop on the TP gets them a second.
Not bad. Roshan. Boboka is sitting inside a Roshan pit to see when it's going to respawn. And it should be respawning in the next couple of seconds.
This is going to really tick off Fly, by the way.
He left the pit, but Oli's coming back into the pit. So they know Roshan is up. Timbersaul's going to be also ready to take a fight. I don't think this time they will let them have it. They need to take a full 5-on-5. Ame finished off his MKB, seeing that there is a butterfly.
He finished it before Fly got his own butterfly. Now he's got the butterfly, but but he had only the Demon Edge built because he, didn't want to show that he was making that MKB. And now you get this butterfly, which you're going to think is this great timing for Gyro, but there's already the MKB on Sven.
They hear the roar. He could chop shop it and get.
Yes, this is always the bait potential, right?
In.
Falling in Stormhammer, the cleave!
Got stunned.
Oh, Ame! With the God Strength, the cleave damage, Fly and Emo already dead. Boboka falls to XM, and that just works out perfectly. This feels like it's the first primal split of the game, and it's just not gonna net them any positives.
It's
GQ able to get away, and Old 11's also gone. 4 heroes dead on the side of Yakult.
And this is why we said that this Sven is going to have a good time. He just needed good 25, 30 minutes to farm it up, and suddenly he is the king of this game. They don't have enough survivability, surprising him with MKB. Gyrocopter sitting at 2.6k HP, but it's not enough. And Emo, I think he got clipped by the
Stormhammer. Yeah.
And suddenly just disappeared. He's not tanky at all.
Oh. Yeah, there's the cleave damage because he's hitting Fly while he kills him. They jump in, and this is a little bit of a delayed reaction. XM's just kind of in here, and then look at that Stormhammer and the cleave damage. XM also helping out. Had that Resonant Pulse and the Dissimilate, but damn, that damage from Sven. And this is what? The first primal split of the game that just doesn't do anything for them?
I think we said it multiple times. Playing Brewmaster into Sven is just not fun. At least he has ability to cancel it early, but still you're get out and you're gonna die. So playing into Radiance, playing into Drunken Brawler, Storm Brawler, plus Butterfly makes it this MKB getting them so much value out of it. Jin-Q.
Ball lightning all the way through the Vortex combination, and they will get a kill here on a Jin-Q, getting them some gold. Decent gold for Emo for that kill. He wants a Hex, and I think this is a pretty big item for them to get if they can surprise Ame with it. But they have to get to that point of getting this Hex, and we've seen a lot of Storm Spirits as well. They've gone for the Ags a little bit later on in the game.
Yeah, especially with Gyrocopter. There was a game yesterday where they almost managed to pull it back with some nice Vortexes into overwhelming damage from Gyrocopter, Flak Cannon. There was also a Divine Rapier in that game. But Xtreme Gaming, they need one good fight, and suddenly this game kind of opened up immediately. Emo does have a gem. Wants to remove some of that vision, go for more like pick-off mode, where that's why he's building into Hex as well, where they want to initiate onto target and kill it. Have something. There's still got to be Global Silence, Fissure potentially coming out.
XM having quite the game, 5-1-5. He feels very strong, and he went to this early Ags. He's got his Manta style, has this Shard. That Shard making that Aether Remnant rotate as a clock, but Ame getting a kill on Old 11.
That's a solo kill.
And ripping him up. That Global Silence used, and that was some big-time damage. All Lightning Vortex, do they have the control to get a kill here on XM? They don't. They'll even commit the call down. That was 2,800 damage coming through from Sven, with no chance of survival for Old 11. All Lightning in again, and all the way back. Got some decent Fatal Bonds damage, but they need to take out this banner. And Sven now has a Satanic. I don't even know how you kill Ame at this point.
Even if they get the initiation, they need to throw everything. I still don't think there's going to be enough for them to kill it, because they need to commit with all the BKBs, double BKB, Rock, and if he lives there, if he gets Satanic off, double hit with Echo Saber / Harpoon, they lost the fight. All it takes is Global Silence, Fisher. This is a very, very difficult game. That's why we said at the start that this lineup from Xtreme Gaming definitely favorable. It's just they're going to need a little bit more time to come online, especially with the start that they did have, because both supports, they were level 4, 13 or 14 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
And Ame, all he had to do is continue to farm up.
Way easier to commit to farming when you're not in a pub because your team trusts you. But when you're in a pub and you're getting rushed and you're getting told to fight, sometimes you come over to the fight a little bit too early. But Ame came ready with items and comes ready for Fly. They've got that Yules. Ball down committed, featured through, as well as the totem on a Bobica blocking them out from leaving. But they've got the ball lightning into the Vortex, trying to get a kill on a Jinkyu, who will Yules up into the air, throws down that Echo Slam, and they will eventually take out this Earthshaker. Now Ame's still in with this God Strength. XM comes through on the other side. Ether and Global Silence. Oh, 11. No Primal Split again. They have nothing to stop the TP of Fly. They will look for this Warlock and find him. Ali dead too. 3 heroes gone.
They know this Sven is just a menace. He can hold his BKB for a long time, knowing that they can't really lock him down. There was no Hex available on Emo. He's trying to creep skip, but they also have the full creep wave. There is Glyph available. The Cold Brothers might need to pop it here.
They can clean up these creep waves with some ease. They've kept this range creep alive, though. Big problems for Yakult, down 16,000 net worth. All down will come through to kill off that creep. You need to be careful. Level 25 now for Ame. Has him that extra 50% God Strength damage, though. Ball lightning in. Emo with the BKB very early, but Ame turns it around with the BKB of his own.
God Strength is ready.
They'll go with the God Strength. They've got the damage. They'll look over at Fly. He needs to get out of here. He's going to be jumped with Bobica out, but Fly still dies to Pelosin. And with no Gyrocopter, this is looking like game 1 is done and dusted. As they will look for Old 11, who will finally get that Primal Split off.
Look
at
at
the fissure, the damage. Oh, God. Old 11 ripped apart. Forced to go all the way back into the base, but there's the jump forward from Bobica. They'll buy back on this Warlock. Fatal Bond's placed down, and the Chakrams just missing their mark, but this is the side of Xtreme Gaming. Very, very confident to dive in that deep.
They know. Sven also just hit level 25, so everything is pretty much aligning perfectly for them. BKB coming off cooldown. 3 seconds left on God Strength, so they continue to go. Now 30 seconds on BKB, 30 seconds on God Strength. Jinkyu also has Echo Slam available.
Storm trying to collect some Lotuses, I guess.
Ame's pretty much 6 slotted now.
Yeah. Could get Shard, could get Eggs if he wants.
That miss chance, Butterfly, Evasion, Radiance, doing absolutely nothing. He does have 80% chance from Monkey King Bar, and he also has 20% chance on Serapid Shiv. Not 100%, but it's almost up there.
Gyro did disassemble the Butterfly and now has the Satanic.
There's 3 options that he can go for. He can get Butterfly out of it, and it seems like he wants to get Disperser. Usually we do see Swift Blink. Maybe he would pick it up if his Storm Spirit had Aghanim Scepter, and if he had maybe another item, another damage item, so he can go in and try to deal that damage, but it's very difficult against Sven. He pops the Warcry, and suddenly, like, usually Brewmaster, or if you have any kind of a Dispel, it's really nice against Warcry before he gets the Shard, and right now he doesn't have it, but Brewmaster pretty much dies. He doesn't even get the chance to react to what's happening in the fight if Sven is focusing him down.
You saw even the Brewlings, though. He gets the primal split off, and they're just dead immediately. Doesn't really have to do anything.
One,
Speaking of
two,
which,
three, dead.
no chance.
He bought back. He bought out. Black King bar, 9 seconds, doesn't get it off. This fight is 4v5 for a good 60 seconds, which means that they are going to be getting megas.
Amplified damage. The last 5 seconds or so available on Ame. They use this glyph. They've got the diffusal finished off, but they need the disperser.
On Ame.
Stormhammer in, lands on both Marcy as well as the Warlock. They'll throw the Chakrams forward. Fly trying to put out some damage there. There isn't much for them to do, though. They do hold off Mega Creeps for the moment, though.
A little surprised they didn't want to commit. There's no God Strength, but there's still BKB. I don't think he should die, but they could also take it slowly. Roshan may be alive, and Roshan's going to be respawning in a minute. What happened to Roshan's clock? Why can't, ever since we added all these new things, all the new information, clock just stopped working. This is literally 1 minute, and it says it might respawn. We were always smarter than professional e-athletes in one regard.
They're trying to get XM.
When Roshan's going to respawn. XM.
Can they kill him, Fissure? Dissimulate. Emu going to stick with it. You're not even going to commit to this.
They also have
BKB, global silence. And BKB is going to wear out. They aren't going to get the kill on XM. But XXS has that Ags. Jinky with the blink as well as the Fissure. Oh, man, Emo. He'll end up dead. They're going to focus their attention on a Firefly who's able to pop his own BKB, but can he get his life back here? Satanic on cooldown for 10 more seconds. He needs to run away from Ame, who's got the God Strength. The Fissure lands on 2 of these heroes. Ali surviving for the moment. Doesn't have that Chaotic Offering already used earlier in the fight. And they are just ripping through these heroes. 2 already gone on the side of Yakult. They've got Fly with the Satanic again, but XM is here. And it does not matter. Fly can't do anything. They'll call GG and Xtreme take game 1 in this BO5 Grand Final.
They made it look so easy. Especially because they wanted to take it slowly after losing the laning stage. The one who did really good was XM. We haven't seen, I would say, much out of Timbersaw as well, seeing that the both supports were under-leveled.